Good day, everyone. Today we will talk about political science. What is political science and its history? Political science is the systematic study of government, politics, and political behavior. It examines the structures, processes, and dynamics of political system at various levels, from local to international. The history of political science can be traced back to ancient Greece, where scholars like Plato and Aristotle laid the foundation for political thought. Over centuries, the field evolved, incorporating contributions from various cultures and periods, leading to the diverse interdisciplinary discipline we recognize today. What is the purpose of political science? The purpose of political science is to systematically study and analyze political systems, institutions, behavior, and power dynamics. By doing so, it aims to provide insights into functioning of governments, the formulation of policies, and the impact of political decisions on societies. Political science seeks to enhance understanding of political processes, promote informed citizenships, and contribute to the development of effective governance and public policies. It also helps identify patterns, trends, and theories that can be valuable for policymakers, researchers, and general public in navigating complexities of political work. The term father of political science is often attributed to Aristotle, an ancient Greek philosopher. His work, Politics, is a foundational text in political science, exploring topics such as governance, citizenship, and the nature of political communities. When referring to modern father of political science, some attribute this title to Niccolo Machiavelli, an Italian Renaissance political philosopher. His work The Prince is known for its pragmatic analysis of political power and leadership. Political science in rudimentary form was first applied in ancient Greece. The city of Athens, in particular, played a crucial role. Scholars like Plato and Aristotle engaged in systematic study of politics, governance, and societal organizations. Aristotle's Politics is a notable early work in political science, exploring concepts such as justice, citizenships, and different forms of government.
The history of the political science in the country can be traced back to a significant period of Philippine history. The propaganda movement, 1880 to 1895, and the Philippine Revolution, 1896 to 1991. It could be characterized as a movement of discipline in terms of focuses as subject matters and approaches to that study. In terms of focuses, the discipline is moving away from the state and toward the political system. In terms of approaches, from legalistic, institutional, historical, and normative approaches toward the systematic, sociological, residual, and behavioral approaches. They were actually the fathers of the Philippines political science. Those illustrados are five: the triumvirate of propaganda movement, Jose P. Rizal, 1861 to 1896; Graciano Lopez Siana or Hiana, 1856 to 1896; and Marcelo H. Del Pilar, 1850 to 1896; and Triumvirate of the Philippine Revolution, Emmanuel Jacinto, 1875 to 1899; and Apolinario Mabini, 1864 to 1993.
What does political science study? Political science study of governments, political systems, behavior, activities indirectly linked with analysis of power, how it is acquired, distributed, and exercised within societies and across nations. Is political science a science? Political science is considered a social science rather than a natural science. While it applies scientific methods to study political systems, behavior, and structures, it differs from natural sciences like physics or chemistry in that it deals with human behavior, institutions, and societal structures rather than empirical laws of nature. What is the scope of political science? The scope of political science is vast, encompassing the study of governments, political behavior, institutions, power dynamics, international relations, public policies, comparative politics, political theory, and the impact of political decisions on societies and individuals. It essentially examines anything related to politics and governance.
Power in the context of politics refers to the ability to influence or control the behavior of others. There are various kinds of power in politics, including 1. Coercive power. This type of power is based on the ability to use force or threats to make others comply with one's wishes. 2. Reward power. This power is based on the ability to provide rewards or incentives to others in exchange for compliance and support. And 3. Expert power. This type of power is derived from one's knowledge, expertise, or skills in a specific area. People with expert power are often seen as credible and influential. Or referent power. Referent power is based on the admiration, respect, or liking that others have for an individual group. It arises from the personal qualities or characteristics of the person in power. What is authority? Authority is a type of power that is recognized and accepted by others as legitimate. It refers to the right or ability to give commands, make decisions, or enforce obedience. What is legitimacy? Legitimacy can be based on various factors such as legal frameworks, historical traditions, or popular concept. A government is considered legitimate when it's widely recognized and accepted by the people it governs. In summary, politics is the process of gaining and holding power, while power can take different forms such as coercive, reward, referent, and expert power. Authority refers to the rightful exercise of power, and legitimacy is the acceptance or recognition of an authority's right to exercise power.
Hi, I am Jonas, and I will be talking about the concept of state, nation, and governance, and also the elements and origin of states, and lastly, the origin and elements of governance. So, understanding the concept of state, governance, and a nation is crucial for comprehending the complexity of modern political system. So let's go to the governance first. So, governance refers to the process and structures to which political authority is exercised and decisions are made. Well, closely related sila sa state, ang governance kay extend from beyond formal government institutions, and also it includes mechanisms such as law, regulations, and societal norms that influence the behavior of individuals and organization. Og ang effective nga governance kay nagafoster og transparency, accountability, og responsiveness sa mga needs sa mga tao. So ang second kay state. So the state is a political entity characterized by defined geographical boundaries, a permanent population, a government, og ang capacity para mo enter og relationship with the other states. The state's function encompasses both internal administration and external diplomacy, serving as a central authority. And lastly, the nation. So, simple, ang nation kay usa siya ka community of people who shares a common identity often defined by factors such as language, culture, history, and shared values. Unlike the state, which is a political and administrative entity, ang nation kay isa siya ka social o cultural construct. Now let's move on to the elements and origin of states. So let's talk about the elements of states first. The first element of a state is a population. Population is the people who live in a specific area or country. It includes everyone like men, women, and children. The second one is the territory. So, ang territory kay usa siya ka land and space that belongs to a particular state or country. It has clear borders that separates it from other places. The third is the government. Government makes and enforces rule in a country. It includes leader, laws, and organization that help run things. So the next is sovereignty. Sovereignty is the power of state to govern itself without interference from other country. So it means nga having control over its own affair and decision. And now let's talk about the origin of states. So the first origin of states is social contract theory. So the social contract theory proposes nga that ang mga individuals sa usa ka society kay ni-agree to form a government and abide by its rule in exchange for protection and the benefits of organized society. The legitimacy of government comes from the voluntary consent of the governed, establishing a mutual agreement for the collective benefits. The second one is the evolutionary theory. So, the evolutionary theory suggests that political institutions, including the state, evolve gradually over time as a natural progression of human development, and state emerge through a process of adaptation and element, reflecting the changing needs and complexity of a human society. And the third one is the force theory. So, the force theory asserts that states originate through the use of force, where a person or a group establishes and control over territory by overpowering others. So, murag gisulti ra ni siya sa usa ka grupo or sa ka tawo nga ako dapat ang mo-control sa usa ka territory kay ako ang mas powerful. And the authority of the state is derived from the ability to use force to establish and to maintain control. And the fourth one is the divine right theory. The divine right theory holds that a ruler's authority is derived from a higher power, such as a deity, and the ruler is seen as having a divine mandate to govern. So, rulers are believed to govern with a blessing of a higher authority, justifying their power as a divine obligation. And the last one is the cultural evolution. So, the cultural evolution can refer siya sa gradual development of changes sa usa ka society. Culture, including language, customs, and social practices, which contributes to the formation and transformation of political structures. Og ang evolutional theory, ang evolution sa usa ka culture kay nag-apply of crucial role in shaping the political organization of the society over time. Now, move na ta sa atong pinaka-last nga istoryahan, which is the elements and origin of governance. So, let's talk about the elements of governance first. So, the first element of the governance is government institution. Government institution is an organized part of the government that carries out specific tasks like ministry or agencies. Rule of law. So the idea of the rule of law is that everyone, including the government, must follow established laws. It ensures fairness and prevents arbitrary use of power. The third one is accountability. So we all know that the accountability is the obligation for individuals or institutions to answer for their actions and decisions, promoting transparency and responsibility. The fourth is the protection of human rights. So safeguarding the inherent rights and freedom of individuals, ensuring equal treatment, dignity, and fundamental freedoms. The last one is the political pluralism. So having multiple political parties or viewpoints in a society, providing citizens with choices and fostering democratic debate. Next, origin of governance. So, the word governance comes from the Latin word governare, meaning to steer. It evolved as society developed system to organize and rule themselves. And the first origin of governance is ancient civilization. So, ancient civilization were early advanced society like Egypt, Greece, and Rome, with their own ways of organizing and governing, often led by monarchs or city-states. The second is Enlightenment era. The Enlightenment era during 17th to 18th century were focused on reason and individual right, influencing the development of democratic ideas and the rule of law. The third one is Industrial Revolution. So the Industrial Revolution started in the late 18th century. They brought a major changes, transitioning societies from agrarian to industrialized, impacting governments and economies. The fourth is formation of nation states. Over time, nations formed with defined borders and central government. This process is still ongoing since the Renaissance led to the establishment of sovereign nation states. And the last one is medieval and feudal system. In medieval times during 5th to 15th century, feudalism was a system where lord granted land in exchange for loyalty. Governance was decentralized with local lords having authority over their territories. That's all.
So today we're talking about a nation. Nation is a territory where all people are led by the same government. Nation, it's also a people who share history, tradition, and culture, often language. So this is the example of the nation. As you can see, different kind of nation. And we have 5 elements of the nation, which is geographic background, government unity, language, religion, and economics. Geographic background is the studies of location, areas of an Earth surface, and focuses on the features of location, which is particularly in natural environment and population. So, geographic background no is tabura mo kay ni the studies of kanang mga location sa Earth and sa mga especially mga climate change, weather sa Earth. So the second one is the government unity. Government unity or national union government is a broad coalition government consisting with all parties legislature formed during a time of war or a national emergency. So, ano siya, ang government unity is ano siya, mag-gather ang tanan president or mag-unite if na ay time of war, magtinabangay ni sila. So, this is the example. Mga presidents na sila. Popular niya. Okay. When the time of war, kung nari sa Philippines is kung mag-war dire or na yung attack na to, isa may matabang na to, di ba ang US? So, mo na siya mag-unite ang uban countries to help each other. The third one is a language. Language is the main branches of a statehood and the side of stability of a maintain of the nation. And through the law, the state has been assumed or responsible for use, protection, and development of the state's language in all spheres of a public life. So the fourth one is religion. Religion can be part of one's identity. To belong religion often means more than sharing a belief and participating in ritual. It is meant to being part of a community of sometimes a culture. So we all have a different religion. So more on here in Philippines is more on Christian or Catholic. So the last one is economics. An economy encompasses all of the activities related to the production, consumption, and trade of a goods and service. Is an entity where entity is a nation or a small town. Two economies of identical. Each it is formed according to its own resources, culture, laws, history, and geography. So why it is economy is one of the important, because state can be taxed revenue and gain to capacity and resources needed to provide the public goods and service that their citizen needs. Origination is collecting of people who identify with one another through shared culture. Elements such as political geologies, language, mythologies, and religion belief. So, origination is the nation where a person was born. That's all.
Types of government. According to Wikipedia, there are 30 to 34 types of government around the world. But for today, we were going to discuss the 9 basic types of government around the world. First is the anarchy. The anarchy is a state of disorder due to absence of authority and other controlling system. So basically, ang anarchy is a lawless type of government. So kaning type of government anarchy is wala ni sila law, wala sila gisunod nga law. And next is the aristocracy. The aristocracy is a type of government that ruled by the gilded one or mga high class, mga educated one lang sa usa ka certain society. Sila lang ang nagkarapatan nga mo rule over a society or a country. Next is a communism. Communism is a type of government as well as economic system. So this type of government is win the balance. This type of government is kanang unsay naa niya naa ka, so equal ra gyud ang tanan tawo ana dira sa type of government nga communism. Next is the democracy. The democracy is a type of government that ruled by people. So remember that when you say democracy is they ruled by people, this type of government is free. Nagi freedom ang mga tao ani nga type of government. Like for example, Philippines, we have the right to vote. Kinsay atong gusto mo lingkod ana nga certain position, kinsay atong gusto mo imong president. So kita yung magdesisyon gid ana. And next is the monarchy. The monarchy is a type of government that ruled by a single person. So, ang monarchy kay, for example, England, Queen Elizabeth. So, inana ang type of government ng monarchy nga, usa ra gyud ka tawo ang mag-rule. Wala na, hindi pareha sa democracy nga, napay cabinet, napay lain nga mga sangay sa usa ka gobyerno. Ang kaning monarchy kay siya ra gyud, usa ra gyud ang rule. The next is the oligarchy. Ang oligarchy, this type of government is ruled by small group of people. So, unlike democracy, kung may buong mo kay group sad ang oligarchy, dili ni sila pareha sa democracy. Kaya ang democracy, ang tao ang masunod. While oligarchy is sila ra gyud, sila ra masunod, wala na dili na ang tao ang kailangan mo kuan ba. Unlike sa democracy nga kita yun ang masunod. Then next is the totalitarian, authoritarian of fascism. So this type of government is libog kini sa subgroup kay firstly this type of government is connected ra ni sila nga type of government and they are controlling type of government. So this type of government they control a certain country, but the difference is the totalitarian is ang tao kay total nga wala gyud freedom, so wala gyud freedom ang mga tao. Unlike authoritarian, ang tao bigaan og gamay nga freedom. Kontroleng gihapon ang authoritarian pero dahil ginagmay like China. China is a type of authoritarian. Naa sila freedom nga gamay lang pero control gihapon sila. Unlike totalitarian nga total nga wala gyud freedom ang tao. Unya sa fascism kay ang military controlling sa sila but the difference is ang leader ang control but the military or the secret police officers are anak. So kani silang tulo kay mao gid dapat utiman nga ang totalitarian total wala gyud freedom, authoritarian na ay freedom nga gamay, ang fascism kay military ang nag-handle.
One of the challenges faced by the Philippines is the prevalence of political dynasties. A political dynasty is a family of politicians who serve in one place or country and can pass or extend government positions to kin for the purpose of expanding and maintaining its hold on power. Examples: Cayetano, Gatchalian, Duterte, Binay Aguilar, Villar, and Marcos. Corruption is another significant challenge for the Philippines democracy. This can hinder the democratic process and lead to a lack of accountability and transparency. Corruption can impede economic development, hinder the delivery of public services, and perpetuate social inequalities. Examples: graft, bribery, nepotism, and impunity. Corruption case Pork Barrel Scam, which involved businesswoman Janet Napoles with numerous politicians accused of stealing $229 million worth of Philippine taxpayer money. Democracy in the Philippines has faced several challenges in recent years. One of the key challenges is the limited access to quality education. Limited education can hinder the development of an informed and engaged citizenry, which is essential for a functioning democracy. One of the reasons for this is that most public schools have no computers, lack of teachers, and resources for the quality education's updated or better materials or lessons to teach. These can lead to a lack of checks and balances and hinder the proper functioning of democratic processes. Low to moderate economic growth for the past 40 years, low growth elasticity of poverty education, weakness in employment generation, and the quality of jobs generated. Today, I will be discussing Article 6 and Article 7. This topic is of great significance because Article 6 and 7 of the Constitution are in the Philippines are important. They provide a framework for the functioning of the legislative and executive branches of the government, ensuring a system of checks and balances and the representation of the people's interests. Article 6 specifically pertains to the Legislative Department. The Legislative Department branch has the power to introduce, debate, and pass laws. It is responsible for reviewing and amending proposed legislation, as well as overseeing the actions of the executive branch. The legislative branch plays a crucial role in the democratic process by representing the interests of the people, ensuring a system of checks and balances, and providing a forum for debate and discussion on important issues, composed of the Senate and the House of Representatives, which make up the Congress. If at the beginning of the term of the President-elect shall have died or shall have become permanently disabled, the Vice President-elect shall become President. In the Philippines, the President-elect and the Vice President-elect assume office at the beginning of their terms. These, of course, on June 30 following the national elections, which are held on the second Monday of May. The President and Vice President-elect take their oaths of office during the inauguration ceremony, marking the official start of the respective terms.
Article 8 of the Philippines Constitution deals with the judicial power. It establishes the structure of the judicial system, defining the powers of the courts and their independence to interpret laws and resolve disputes. Article 9 emphasizes the state's responsibility to promote a just and dynamic social order. It outlines the goal to ensure national prosperity, independence, and indicate poverty through policies that provide social services, support full employment, raise living standards, and enhance the quality of life for all citizens. This policies aims to create a more equitable and thriving society by addressing socio-economic inequalities.
So today let's tackle out the prerequisites for currency in the Philippines. So ito din ang prerequisite for the currency. So ang prerequisite ay kay mauning requirements sa dagan. Ang prerequisite mauni siya yung dagan para sa mga president, vice president, judiciaries o Senate election. So the first one is president, yung siya mga requirements na. So number one is natural born citizen. So normal naman din na sa kuan dapat ari jud kag panganak sa Pilipinas aron mundagan jud ka president. So number 2 is registered voter. Kakadadit must be a registered voter in the country. So register ka sa Philippines or something like. Number 3, able to read and write. So the candidate must be able to read and write. So normal man dyan na kay dagan ka mo present. So kamo dyan kung basa or suwat. So number 4, kay at least 40 years old or above. So before the election day, imong edad 40 years old na or above. So number 5 is the resident of the Philippines for at least 10 years. At least 10 years. So na pwede ka sa Pilipinas more than 10 years na aron makadagan ka as president. Second one is the vice president. Ang vice president of president medyo mamauram sa requirement. So ang pinakauna di ay be natural born in Filipino. So mamauram sila be a registered voter in the country. Number 3, the ability to read and write. And then number 4, be at least 40 years old. Ano ba matuging mo na ko ganina pre sa president. Ang number 5 is have been resident of the Philippines at least 10 years. So maori sila mga requirements sa president o vice. So ang katulo ay judiciary or judge. So ang requirements na naday una ay educational is qualification. So candidate must have a Bachelor of Law or degree from our Kunas Law School. So maswila jud ka mga lawyer or law school na there be bar examination and successful qualification definitely are examination is sa the Supreme Court definitely kailangan yun na kumayo kay law. Ang kato legal experience. So a typical candidate are required to have a certain number of years of legal practice. So the exact requirement may vary but subtical legal experience is generally expected. So mo-interview ka na kay need practice mo and experience. So age and citizenship. The candidate must require 40 above or above. So ang kalima kay judicial and legal training. So some jurisdiction may require additional training or attendance at a judicial academy. Need training, mga jud sa kwan. So ang kaunon kay physical and mental fitness. So mag-judgment jud ka. So need jud ka mga kung sa imong utok marag mga kons ka ba. So ang kaupat kay congress or congressman. So una kay citizen. So natural lang yun ang born sa Pilipinas. So mudagan jud ka congressman, di ba? Ang kaduha kay age. So ang para sa age na age or 25 or above to 35. So ang kadagan ng congress. So ang katulo kay voter or registration. So voter ka sa Pilipinas sa a year aron makadagan ka sa Congress. So ang kaupat kay residency and candidates. So resident ka sa Pilipinas kay mo ikaw mo dagan ana. So ang kalima kay education. So graduate ka aron kapaskuhan. So ang last day kay Senate election. Senator. Requirements sa una na kay natural born in Philippines. So, Pinoy ka, dagan ka sa makasenator ng anak. Ang number 2 kay a registered voter. So, mamawid sila tanan kay dagan dapat Philippines naka sa Philippines vote, di ba? Age, age or requirement. So, at least 35 years old or above, pwede na ka makadagan na. Ang kaapat ay kay education. So, dapat na kay bachelor degree or mga eskwela na aron kadagan ka sa senator. So ang kalima kay residency. Candidate must be a resident of the Philippines for at least 2 years. So kapuyo ka rin 2 years sa makatagan sa senator. So ang pinaka-last is the ability to read and write. So dagan ka ba kung musuwat mo basa, diba?
Legislative procedure in the Philippines. The legislative process in the Philippines is a systematic and multifaceted approach that shapes the creation of laws within the country. It involves meticulous steps, deliberation, and collaboration between the Senate and the House of Representatives. Understanding this procedure illuminates the intricate journey a proposed bill undertakes before it becomes an enforceable law. Now, let's explore the key stages that orchestrate the crafting of legislation in the Philippines. First, overview. The legislative process in the Philippines encompasses several stages and involves both houses of Congress, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. Second, initiation of bills. Bills can originate from either House of the President or even citizens through their representatives. They undergo 3 readings in both houses before being passed. Third, committee review. Bills are assigned to committees for thorough examination, debate, and amendments. This stage allows experts to analyze and improve the proposed legislation. Next, floor deliberation. Once bills pass the committee stage, they proceed to the plenary sessions of each house. Here, lawmakers engage in debates, propose further amendments, and vote on the bill. Next step is bicameral conference committee. In case where the Senate and the House pass different versions of a bill, a bicameral conference committee harmonizes these versions into one final bill. And lastly, presidential approval. The final version of the bill is sent to the President for approval. The President can sign it into law, let it lapse into law without his signature, veto it, or send it back to Congress for reconsideration. So in conclusion, this second overview provides a glimpse into the Philippine legislative. So to conclude, the second overview provides a glimpse into the Philippine legislative procedure, outlining the key stages involved in crafting laws in the country. Human rights are fundamental entitlements and freedoms inherent to all individuals by virtue of being human. They encompass a wide range of protections, including civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights, aiming to ensure dignity, equality, and fairness for every person. So, what is the Article 3 Bill of Rights in the Philippines? Article 3 of the Philippines Constitution's Bill of Rights serves as a cornerstone in safeguarding the fundamental freedoms and protections of every Filipino citizen. It delineates the various rights covering personal liberties, due process, equality, and social justice. This section of the Constitution serves as a vital framework ensuring the preservation and promotion of human rights within the country. Importance of voting as social studies students. As social studies students, understanding the significance of voting is pivotal. Voting is a fundamental aspect of democratic societies, serving as a crucial mechanism for expressing opinions, shaping policies, and influencing the direction of a nation. Engaging in the electoral process fosters civic responsibility, empowers individuals to voice their concerns, and contributes to the collective decision-making process. By participating in voting, social studies students actively contribute to the democratic fabric of society. Ensuring their voices are heard in shaping the future they vision.